Moving to Sudan's neighbour, South Sudan, the country's President Salva Kiir has fired South Sudan's military chief, the police chief and the central bank governor. The senior government officials were sacked late on Monday night, and the president has refused to give an explanation behind the move. Now, President Kiir has now appointed Paul Nangmajak as the new army chief after replacing General Santino Woe. According to a Reuters report, the shake-up in the higher ranks of the South Sudanese military comes after alleged disquiet within the army ranks. The reports say that several soldiers have not been paid salaries for over a year, which has led to increased anti-president sentiments in the barracks. South Sudan has been seeing internal unrest since last year, when the president's office claimed that there was a coup plot against him in November of 2023. However, the South Sudanese army and the police denied the coup reports, despite having deployed large amounts of troops in the capital. The sacking of the army chief and the police chief comes just about a year after the tensions among the South Sudanese leadership began. A shake-up has been ongoing in South Sudan at the highest level. It all started in early October this year. President Kiir dismissed Akol Kurkuk, the National Security Service head, who had held the position since South Sudan gained independence in 2011. Then in November, President Kiir ordered the arrest of the former head of intelligence, which led to an eruption of gunfire in the capital city of Juba. And now in December, President Kiir has fired the army chief and the police chief. The central bank governor has also been charged, and Johnny Damien has been appointed by President Kiir after firing him from the same position back in 2023. However, the abrupt changes to leadership have not been met without resistance. The arrest of the former head of intelligence in November saw short and brief clashes on the streets of Juba. The fighting erupted between the intelligence chiefs, loyalists, and the People's Defense Forces, which is an organization militia of the government. And the United Nations peacekeeping forces had to be called in on an emergency basis to quell the gunfire between the two sides.
Try our best. We go to some checkposts, try our best not to aggravate the situation, try our best not to get into a conflict situation with the people in the checkpost. However, but then ultimately what suffers is our ability to reach the location where, if we reach, we will save lives of South Sudanese citizens. That saving of lives is averted by these access denials.
The United Peacekeeping Forces did manage to control the situation. However, they have accused the South Sudanese government of deliberately preventing the peacekeeping forces from patrolling in certain areas of Juba.
It may look that the numbers are insignificant, but these are the 15 patrols which are in places of imminent clashes. These are the places we feel that the protection of civilians' concern is at most. So in these places, if we are not able to go, then obviously without showing our presence, we obviously cannot prevent escalation of the conflict. So these access denials, though only 15 patrols in a month, maybe only 2 to 3% of our patrols overall, but they can be crippling in our implementation of the protection of civilians mandate. We request the government that one of the surest ways of ensuring that we collectively fulfill the protection of civilians mandate is by ensuring unfettered access to UNMISS. We have never ever gone against the interest of peace in South Sudan, and there is no reason to feel that UNMISS going anywhere will create any difficulty for the government or for the peace agreement. It will actually promote our efforts in this regard.
Abrupt changes in the government and growing unrest in the country put President Kiir on the back foot. The country's economy has been on a decline after the internal fighting erupted in 2013. Though South Sudan signed a peace deal with the warring communities in 2018, tensions between the rival ethnic groups persist. With South Sudan going to polls in 2026, President Kiir is racing against the clock to improve the country's security and economy.